Well, hello everybody and welcome to I Want to Cook. Chef Matt here, and we are in a different kitchen today. We are in a very special kitchen with the most special person in the world. If you've ever wondered about my inspiration, my original inspiration for cooking, well, here she is. This is my dear mother, Janice, and today we are going to be making her famous Italian dressing and marinade. Mom, thank you for doing this.
It's a pleasure to be here and welcome to my kitchen. You are always a friendly face when you come in the front door, and we can sit down together and have a wonderful meal. So thank you for being here today. I'm going to show you something that is so simple to make. Now I know you're probably looking at all of these things and saying, oh, I don't have that. But they're easy to find at your grocery store. Even in your little mini marts, you can pick them up and be ready in a flash to make some great dressing. Now the neat thing about these ingredients is they're all very palatable and they're all very good for you. Take out a bottle of dressing that you purchased at your neighborhood grocery store and look at the ingredients. And folks, if you can't pronounce it, do you really want to eat it? Well, all of these things are things you know, and they're good for you and delicious when you put them all together, which is what we're going to do in just a minute.
All right, Mom, I noticed you have, this looks like you have a coffee grinder. I thought we were making dressing. Why is there a coffee grinder out here?
Absolutely. And just a little tip before we get into the coffee grinder is I do have two grinders, one that I would grind coffee, but one that I save for herbs. And of course, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I got this at a yard sale. I don't know, I probably paid 50 cents, I don't know. It is a Bosch. It has lasted forever, and it's absolutely wonderful for herbs. Now, when we get ready to assemble our dressing, a really special hint for not only dressing but other things, grind your herbs. They won't be gritty in your end product, and they absorb the oil and the vinegar so much better. So we have some Italian seasoning, and as I say, you can pick this up in your grocery store. There's no magic to it. If you want to get really down to being a purist, you can assemble your own by taking the individual herbs and mixing them, but be sure to grind them before you start assembling your dressing, or even your stews or anything for that matter. So we've got, as I said, the Italian herbs, and then I've also got just plain dried parsley, and we will do that. But I'm going to save your ears, and we're going to do that off camera, okay? I'll see you in a bit. Here's a nifty little handy gadget that I use to mix my salad dressing. Obviously, you can use a bowl, you can use a whisk, you can use a mason jar and shake it all up. Remember that when you're making a dressing like this, it is not going to have its own thickening that lasts.
It smells so good.
So this is kind of neat because it has a plunger, and you can mix it and pour it on your salad. You do have to remix your dressing every time because it does not emulsify the way commercial does. But we've already talked about why those dressings emulsify. Okay, so we're going to start with a half a cup of vegetable or canola oil. I do not use corn oil much in my cooking. It's just a personal preference. If you have corn oil, don't run out and buy something else. It's too expensive. Use what you've got on hand.
I love the old measuring cup too.
Yeah, the old measuring cup was a shower present when I got married back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth. Okay, then we're going to go with olive oil, half a cup.
We always have olive oil in the house.
We do.
I can't remember never not having olive oil in the house.
Growing up in a traditional Italian family, olive oil was used for everything. Ladies, you can give yourself a great facial. It's good for your hair as a conditioner. It was even good on a piece of cotton for an earache.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so now we have our oil, and now we start with our vinegar. Please don't use white vinegar. It's great for the windows or to whiten your wash, but it's really hard on your stomach and cooking with it, unless you're pickling. So we're going to do 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. And then we're going to use apple cider vinegar, 1/4 cup.
I love apple cider vinegar.
Yeah. This has a so much softer feel and taste to your palate. Then we start with the real easy stuff. Remember the herbs that we ground that Matthew is sniffing? I guess better this than glue, huh, folks?
I did enough of that in my early days.
Oh. Okay. Then we want, and this is 1 teaspoon.
This is the onion powder.
Onion powder,
Okay.
and that was our ground herbs. That was onion powder. Now we're going for garlic. And this is granulated garlic. Please don't use garlic salt. If you only have garlic salt on hand, there again, you can use it, but then don't use salt. Just use that as your salt and your garlic together.
And here's our regular salt, right?
Yes, just regular iodized white salt, and I really don't want to pour over that. You all know that not to pour over what you're cooking. How many times have you done that and you've ended up with a pan full of stuff that is way too savory for your dish? On black pepper, I only use 1/4 teaspoon. If you like a more peppery flavor, you can use more, but that's it. Now, we put our plunger in. This also has a nice little pouring spout.
Just like that.
Just like that. It's a very good idea to make this even a day ahead of using. You can use it right away, but it won't be quite as savory. And we do want that zing, don't we? Now, the option to this is very, very low tech. Wait until I dig into the archives to get the option to this. Good. If you can't do this, surely you can do this. Just a mason jar and give it a good shake and you're ready to go. By the way, a little tip, if you do want to invest in one of these, I think, now I know the brand name on this was Pampered Chef. I'm sure other kitchen gadget makers also make an equivalent. It has recipes and measuring spots on the side for a couple different salad dressings. Not for this one though. But I'm sure you can go onto eBay. Hey, check your thrift store. You never know what you're gonna find there, and it's gonna be great.
So Dad, these knives are even older than me, and they are still phenomenally sharp and beautiful to work with. Tell me a little bit about when you made these and how you made these knives.
Well, when we moved into our house in Yorba Linda, we needed some knives, and I was able to go online, even back in those days, and I ordered a set of blades, just the bare blade, and at the same time, our nephew was working at a woodworking shop in Paradise, California, and he brought down some hardwood blanks that I could use for handles. So I was able to cut the handles out and rivet them to the metal shank of the knife itself. And then, of course, I sharpened it up on a grindstone and did the honing of it. And about every 3 months, I give it a sharpening, and they keep lasting and lasting.
Well, they sure do. You did a wonderful job on these, and I still love working with them. So thank you.
Good. Glad you enjoy it.
Thank you. Carbon steel, folks. This is a very special knife, these carbon steels. So thanks, Dad.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Where's that lettuce? Where's that ensalada? Bring that ensalada. Let's show the folks what we've got here. Bon appetit. Mangia.
All right, folks, the secret is out. That is how you make my mother's famous Italian dressing and marinade. Mom, thank you. Thank you for revealing the secret to all this time. I'm going to try to replicate it. I still don't think it's going to work out like yours. It's not going to taste like yours. But folks, there it is. Thank you, Mom. Okay, so last week's trivia answer, we probably could have used it this week on this salad. A couple of you got it right. It was indeed celery root, also known as celeriac, and boy is it tasty. I'm going to do a future video on how to use it. Now for this week's trivia question.
What in the world is it? And this does come from this drawer, and it's many moons old. I'll let Matt show you
In the next video, how it works. What is this thing?
Ooh. Don't forget, if you think you've got the answer, respond in the comments. And by the way, talking about those comments, all of my kumbaris out there, I want to hear from you. I don't want to wait until we all get to heaven to be able to say hi. You let me know if you like the ensalada. Love you all.